Good morning and welcome back to my channel. We are starting lecture number 74 and today's title is Algae. In this video, we will cover the salient features and classification of algae into three types: green algae, brown algae and red algae. We will visualize all the examples. So at the end of the video, you will be able to test yourself whether you remember all these names. So this is the first paragraph. Algae are chlorophyll bearing simple thalloid. Now what is the meaning of thalloid? Thalloid means undifferentiated body. So in algae you will not see true roots, true stem or true leaves. It is undifferentiated body. They are autotrophic because they are chlorophyll bearing, largely aquatic, both freshwater and marine organisms. So we will see brown algae and red algae, they are marine, and green algae are both freshwater and marine. They occur in variety of other habitats, moist stones, soils and wood. So this moist word is important. Okay. Now focusing on this term thalloid, the first example which I want to discuss is Cara. Okay. See, it looks like a plant, but you have to remember this is not stem, this is called axis. If you compare this structure with another, this example is equisetum, it is from pteridophyte. So pteridophytes, they have true root, stem and leaves. So compare the structure, they look same. And because it resembles horsetail, this is called aquatic horsetail. Now, algae in association with fungi are called lichens. This we have learned before in biological classification. Now, another example in which you will see algae associating with animal is sloth bear. So this is sloth bear. So this particular variant is called tree sloth. They live on trees. Okay. So the algal growth, it helps them to camouflage. And in turn algae is benefited because algae gets shelter. The form and size of algae is highly variable, ranging from colonial forms like volvox. So colonial will look something like this. This image is given in NCERT. So you can see there is mucilaginous sheath. It is extracellular matrix and it holds cells together. So these are all cells here. And inside you can see daughter colony. So reproductive cells are inside. Okay. This colonial structure is volvox. This is another example of colonial form. So if you see here, there are thousands of cells in the colony of volvox, and here you will have less number of cells. Both show anisogamy. Anisogamy means when the gametes are different in sizes and morphology. So this is one form, colonial form. Another form is filamentous. It is seen in Eulothrix and Spirogyra. So this is Spirogyra. Okay, it is called water silk. Okay, you can see the structure, and this is the microscopic view. So inside you can see spiral shaped chloroplast. Okay, Eulothrix on the other hand has ribbon shaped chloroplast. Both are filamentous. Another important point you need to remember is both show isogamy. In case of colonial form, we saw both show anisogamy. Here it is isogamy. The only difference is in Spirogyra you will see non-flagellated isogamy. Here it will be flagellated isogamy. Then another form is, this is massive plant body called kelps. So it looks something like this. So these are marine forest, brown algae. Now this paragraph talks about reproduction. So algae reproduce by vegetative, asexual and sexual methods. So in case of vegetative reproduction, It is by fragmentation. Each fragment can develop into a thallus. In asexual reproduction, production of different types of spores, the most common being zoospores is seen. Okay, they are flagellated and on germination give rise to new plants. So this is not a universal thing, because in case of red algae you will see non-flagellated spores. Then sexual reproduction takes place through fusion of two gametes. So it can be isogamous or anisogamous. Isogamy we have seen, it is seen in filamentous form, okay, Spirogyra and Eulothrix. So Eulothrix shows flagellated gametes, and in Spirogyra we have non-flagellated gametes. Both are isogamous. Anisogamy is seen in colonial form. And then another one, fucus, it also shows anisogamy. Specifically, it is oogamy. Oogamy means the female gamete is larger in size compared to male gamete. Now, regarding importance of algae. Now, this is something which is difficult to believe. Half of the total carbon dioxide is fixed by algae. So we always think that trees are important, but algae are equally important. Being photosynthetic, they increase the level of dissolved oxygen as well. And they are primary producers to aquatic animals. In the next slide, now we will see the commercial importance of algae. So first things first, these are the three examples: Porphyra, Laminaria and Sargassum. They are used as food. Then as hydrocolloids, we have two examples: Algin, this is obtained from brown algae, and another name, carrageen, this is obtained from red algae. Both are hydrocolloids. Then agar is useful. It is used in microbiology lab to grow microbes, and it is also used in the preparation of ice creams and jellies. So agar is obtained from red algae, Gelidium and Gracilaria. Then chlorella, this is unicellular algae. This is rich in protein, so it is used as supplement, okay, even by space travelers. So to summarize the slide, food supplements are Sargassum and Laminaria. Protein supplement, chlorella. This is additional example which I have added here. Spirulina is also used as protein supplement. This example is not given in NCERT textbook. Then agar, the two sources are Gracilaria and Gelidium. And hydrocolloid, carrageen, this is red algae. Algene is brown algae. Please note down all these examples. These are very important from exam point of view. Then the first member is green algae, Chlorophyceae. So members of Chlorophyceae are called green algae. Their body can be unicellular, colonial or filamentous. So in case of unicellular, the two examples are Chlamydomonas and Chlorella. Colonial, we have Volvox and Eudorina. And filamentous, Spirogyra and Eulothrix. Now they are green because of dominance of pigments chlorophyll A and B. The pigments are localized in definite chloroplast. The chloroplast may be discoid, plate-like, reticulate, cup-shaped, spiral or ribbon-shaped in different species. So these are different shapes of chloroplast. Then most of the members have one or more storage bodies called pyrenoids. This is important. It is located in chloroplast. Now there are two other examples also. Pyrenoids contain protein besides starch. So such structures are called eleuroplast. Now some algae may store food in the form of oil droplets. So such structures are called Elaioplast. Now this point is important. The storage bodies are called pyrenoids, and the storage bodies that contain protein are called eleuroplast. This eleuro is a hint that it is related to protein, and the structures that contain oil droplets are called elaioplast. Okay, eleuroplast, elaioplast, and in general the storage bodies are called pyrenoids. Green algae usually have rigid cell wall made of an inner layer of cellulose and outer layer of pectose. This is also important point. Now with respect to reproduction, fragmentation is seen. This is vegetative reproduction. Asexual reproduction is by flagellated zoospores produced in zoosporangia. And sexual reproduction, it can be isogamous, anisogamous or oogamous. So these are the examples. Chlamydomonas and chlorella are unicellular. This is flagellated, this is motile, chlorella is non-motile. This is Cara and it will have complex thalloid structure. This is Volvox, colonial form. This is Eudorina. This is Spirogyra, this is Eulothrix. Okay. Now next one, brown algae. Members of brown algae are found primarily in marine habitats. So the technical name is Phaeophyceae. This stands for brown algae. They show great variation in size and form. So we have filamentous form, they are ectocarpus, and kelps we have already seen. Now brown algae possess chlorophyll A, C, and in addition there are other pigments, carotenoids and xanthophyll. Now in case of xanthophyll, the specific name of the pigment is fucoxanthin. So different shades of brown is because of different amounts of fucoxanthin. The next important point is the food is stored as laminarin or mannitol. Then the cells, in addition to cellulosic wall, it has a covering of gelatinous coating of algin. Very important. So brown algae has algin and red algae has carrageen. The protoplast contains, in addition to plastids, a centrally located vacuole and nucleus. Then this point is very important. The plant body is usually attached to the substratum by a holdfast. So this acts as the root. Then the stem-like structure, the stalk is called stipe and leaf-like structure is frond. So these are the three examples, laminaria, fucus and dictyota. So this is holdfast and then the stipe and frond, this part, the leaf-like structure, frond. Now regarding reproduction, vegetative reproduction takes place by fragmentation. Asexual reproduction in most brown algae is by biflagellate zoospore. So this is typical of brown algae. They are two unequal laterally attached flagella. And the shape is pear-shaped. In case of sexual reproduction, again you will see two laterally attached flagella. And gametes are pyriform, which is pear-shaped. Here also asexual spores are pear-shaped. So brown algae is the second category of algae, and this will help you to remember that the flagella on the asexual spore and flagella on gametes are two. Then these are the examples. These three we have already seen. Kelp also we have seen. Now this is ectocarpus. Ectocarpus is filamentous. So if they ask you three different examples of filamentous algae, so the names are Spirogyra, Eulothrix and this one, Ectocarpus. And this is sargassum. It is used as food supplement. And then finally, red algae. It is red because of red pigment, phycoerythrin. So this erythro word will help you to remember this is red pigment. They are marine. Now they can occur on the surface as well as in great depth. Now the red pigment is able to capture that light, that relatively little light that penetrates in great depth in the oceans. The food is stored as Floridian starch, which is very similar to amylopectin and glycogen in structure. So it is highly branched. Then again, vegetative reproduction by fragmentation. Asexual reproduction is by non-motile spores. Sexual reproduction by non-motile gametes. So this is typical feature of red algae. Sexual reproduction is oogamous and accompanied by complex post-fertilization development. So details fortunately is not given in the textbook. It will not be asked in NEET. Only thing you have to remember is whether they are motile or non-motile. And only 4 examples to by heart in red algae. So this is Porphyra. This is Polysiphonia. So how I remember is this pH will help you to remember that it belongs to red algae. Porphyra also has pH. Polysiphonia also has pH. Because there is another name, polytrichum, which you will learn later. Okay, so I'm just helping you to remember that how to distinguish polytrichum and polysiphonia. Then Gelidium and Gracilaria. Now the final table to test yourself whether you remember all the examples. The first one, green algae, Chlamydomonas, and another unicellular green algae will be Chlorella. Then Spirogyra is filamentous. Another filamentous green algae is Eulothrix. Then Volvox will be colonial. Another colonial green algae is Eudorina. And finally, the complex thalloid structure seen in Cara. 7 examples of green algae. Brown algae, number 1, Laminaria. Second, Fucus. Third, Dictyota. Then fourth, Sargassum. Fifth one, Ectocarpus. And sixth, Kelp. And red algae, first one, Porphyra. Second, Polysiphonia. Third, Gracilaria. Fourth, Gelidia. Okay, keep revising all these names and all the features of algae. Tomorrow we will discuss bryophytes, all the examples and salient features of bryophyta. Thanks a lot for watching this video and take good care of yourself.